What's up, everybody? Back again, part 2, Stockholm Syndrome and how it relates to our community. I am the Lake Station Strongtown's community advocate and educator, and I hope you came prepared with some listening ears, with a little pencil and paper, and I hope you're ready to learn something, because if you didn't listen to the first one, you probably learned quite a bit. Second one, you're going to learn some more about Stockholm Syndrome, fawning syndrome, and how that all relates to our community, and what we're actually seeing and experiencing. It is my goal as an educator and as a community advocate to show you what is going wrong and how things have been done for so long and how things have intensified in the past 5 years. And it has gotten to such a point in the past 5 years that there are serious things that are being very greatly and grossly ignored by the community because of something like Stockholm Syndrome. So, as before, I went through what Stockholm Syndrome was, the definition, and some of the things that you see. Now, in this part 2, I'm going to go over some things like what's called fear of separation and how that relates to an individual, and how the maximization of the manufactured good things of what the abusers look like, and some of the things that we maybe have heard within our community, what we see and what we've been experiencing. So out of fear of separation, the abused may actually end up feeling like left out. So because of their being felt like they're being left out of like their social group, their peer groups, they will greatly and grossly endure more abuse by the leadership or by those who are abusing them, and individuals too, even if the abused themselves could be harmed, ensnared, entrapped, tricked, lied to, whatever it is. So in Stockholm Syndrome, people will accept the fear, the pain, the trickery, the deception, the lies, the deception of what they see, of what they see is perceived as a good thing, which I'm going to go through that next, and what's actually happening. And what I mean by that is they will also minimize the abuse that the abused will. The abused will actually minimize the abuse that's been happening to them as an individual or to others within their said social group or within their community by the abusers, which could be mayor, council members, leadership, whoever it is. And this is not me speaking. You can go research this for yourself. You can find these things. This does actually happen. It happens often. It happens throughout the world, and no one is immune to Stockholm Syndrome. And it happens even with political leaders within our government. You see them like completely do a 180. 1 second they're believing this, and the next second, because of all this, they start to believe it's something else, and that's called Stockholm Syndrome when you really dig into it. But something else, I mean, how have how often have you actually heard things from the abuser-supported social group within our community pages? What do they say? How do they say these things? And if you speak up against the leadership, how fast are you attacked verbally? How fast are you cut off from your in-group? How fast are you ostracized out of that group? Or you're marked with like some sort of like phenomenon mark where, oh, they're one of those, right? Or they'll talk it down and they'll go, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. They'll deem you to be crazy, incompetent, uneducated, whatever the case is. They'll say, oh, it wasn't that bad. You don't know what you're talking about. Or they'll say, stop spreading lies. You know nothing. You just start trouble. Blah 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 blah. Now all of these things, if you listen closely, what I say, I try to help and educate you about the things that have been going on within our community. And I do that very specifically because the community should truly know what's really going on. And only those who are in their said group will be the ones who will be attacking me. And here's what I mean. Throughout town recently, we see all this so-called great things going on in our community, like, oh, the road's being fixed, or oh yeah, we're redoing the pump station, which was redone a couple years ago, or oh yeah, look, he's brought businesses here and all these great things. But what they don't look at are the things that are under. And any time that glittery stuff is going on, you should stand back and look under the rug, because there's something being swept under the rug. But, it'll always be like, and this is the abused will always try to manufacture things. They will try to say that the abuser is great. And here's some of the ways that they can do that, though. Oh, look what he's done in our town. It's growing. It's going so smooth. It's going great. Our mayor's so awesome. He's so great. They're bringing back businesses. They've cleaned up our town and our streets. They're working on fixing the infrastructures, or they're cleaning up the blighted properties. Yeah, but whose cost? Oh, they're fixing the roadways while there's still one blocked off. Makes no sense. Or the abused will actually praise the abuser, like I said, out of fear or worry of any repercussions. And this is called fawning syndrome. Okay? And I mentioned some things before about, the roadways in the town, and I can take a moment to talk about how, they're fixing one road, but yet they got another one blocked off. Oh, they're upgrading the pump station, but it was done a couple years ago. Or, oh yeah, they're bringing back businesses. No, they're actually not. The businesses decide to bring back businesses. They decide that, right? And that is actually dictated by your residents. And the other thing is, oh, look, we're doing so great. Yeah, but what they're not telling you is what's happening under the table. And what I mean by that is, we all know that there's been numerous city vehicles that's been wrecked in town. Just recently, last Friday or so, another one got wrecked. How many vehicles is our town going to pay for? So while all these great things are being schmoozed as doing great and they're doing so awesome, what they're not telling you is what's really going on under the table. Why are so many vehicles being wrecked in our town by the people who work for our city? Ask yourself that question. That's not me. That's what's going on. And the people who are going to protect this and go, oh, you're a liar, prove it. Oh, I got pictures of it, so don't even. I know enough to know that the woman, she got a little busted up. So, but I know what happened with it. But I'm just going to leave. That's for another time. But fawning syndrome is basically where they people please, like do anything to hush up or to make things look great for our mayor. They will people please as much as they can. They will blow people out of proportion. The abusers they will blow out of proportion. And what happens is they do this to gain the approval, the respect for people that's just like them in their said thinking social group. They're group thinkers. The abuser wants you to be reliant on them only, and, well, we'll get to that in another time. In the next video, I'm going to go through how Stockholm Syndrome is related to things within our community. And it really is, and a lot of communities do go through exactly what I'm talking about. And it can be known as small town syndrome. It could be known as Stockholm Syndrome, where people will literally endure pain, neglect of their community. They will endure being treated like crap. They will be ostracized. They will be abused. They will jump on the bandwagon of abusers to abuse others. They come to believe it too. This is all factual. This is all literally out there for anybody to Google and research to find. It's all out there. And I encourage you to do so. But I am the Lake Station Strong Towns community advocate and educator. I hope you've learned something. Please take these notes. Please go research this stuff for yourself. You will find these things to be true. And in my next video, part 3, I'm going to be going over how Stockholm Syndrome really closely relates to our communities and individuals and why things are allowed and why things are accepted for so long. So we need to do better. I would say challenge the status quo, because if you don't, you never know what you can achieve alone, for the group, for yourself, or for the long haul, for others within your community. Be sure to demand some integrity, some truthfulness, some transparency, and some accountability out of your leadership, because trust me, don't be fooled by this fake facade they got going, because there's a lot of bad things going on under the table right now. I'm the Lake Station Community Advocate and Educator. Please stay with me for part 3 of Stockholm Syndrome.